Is this on? Okay, good. Okay, part 2. Here I am. What's up? Ah, so, ow, I totally hurt my thigh. Um, eh. I just want to knit for a living, you know? I think after this show, I think this will be my last solo show for a while, because I don't know. It's so intense to do this, and I was just so fortunate to actually get grant funding to work on my shows this year, but it's not easy at all. And not saying that because it's not easy, I was going to do this show anyway, but it made it a lot easier to have support behind me. This is just tough stuff, and I'm looking forward, to actually really developing this for a few years. 'Cause my last 2 solo shows free. I was very lucky that I was able to tour it. It took a long time to get going before I could get that toured. Miss Chinatown second runner-up, which is not the same as Fannie Wong. That took a long time to tour. Actually, this didn't tour at all. What am I talking about? That didn't tour at all. Because there was a gigantic vagina that had to come down from the rafters, and that whole show was only like half an hour long, which is not long enough to like justify a full-length piece. So it was really that was a really beautiful piece when I finally got it to the stage I wanted at. I got to do it 2 different versions in LA, and the second one was in San Pedro, so people came, but it wasn't a lot of folks. But the people who did come, I was at this banquet a few weeks ago, and like this kid came up to me, not a kid, but just like a teenager, and she's like, "You're the vagina girl," and I was like, "Yeah, it's me, the vagina girl." Anyway, so what's it? Yeah, so I was walking, like, my director, Katie, was like, you should take a bike ride. And the bikes are in this other half of this woodshed. And I said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. But Steve, who owns this place, I think he's a lot taller than me, and I tried to lower the seat, and the seat was totally biting into my cooch, and yeah, so I was like, ugh, I'm just gonna walk. So I decided to go for a walk, and I decided to look for knitting magazines because that's like been my new like thing. I love looking. Like, I don't follow any patterns from knitting books or whatever, but I love reading patterns and I love looking at pictures. I'm like, am I aging or what? But like, I bought this Vogue Knitting before I like biked around LA, and like I went to bed reading it. It was kind of like the equivalent of how guys like go get dirty porn magazines and then they jerk off before they go to bed. Like, that's me in knitting magazines. So that's the excitement of my life. And so I'm like going up and down the street here in Austin, like the big boulevard, which you have to go down like 4 blocks before there's a crosswalk. It's so ridiculous. And I saw this magazine store, and I'm like, ooh, but it was like all dark on the windows are all dark, and there's a sign that says you have to be 18 or older, and then all the things that said magazine DVD was all in neon in the window, and I was like, I have a feeling this particular magazine store doesn't have crochet magazines. So that's kind of a bummer, because I don't really, I didn't want to rent a car, because I don't need to get in the car that much out here, because people have been good about picking me up, and my friend Timo is in town. I just took a cab to go see him downtown, which was kind of pricey, but, it doesn't justify having to go rent a car. Aren't I exciting? Talking about mental illness, crochet, and crochet magazines. Who wants to sleep with me? Anyway, what else? I went to a taxidermy shop today. I think I'm going to put that in the Playgirl article. It wasn't that exciting, but it was just like for someone who grew up in California and has never seen a taxidermy shop. Like, I didn't even think these things existed. It's called the Martinez Brothers Taxidermy Shop, and it was just kind of weird to go and look at the price list. And they can do taxidermy to fish. Isn't that weird? And I looked at it. It looks like a fake plastic fish. Like, I think it's just better to go to Walgreens and get that fish that sings songs and stuff to you. I think that, because, like, it costs hundreds of bucks to taxidermy this, and, like, to preserve the skin. It's kind of crazy. It's all shiny and stuff. But I don't know. I'd rather just eat it and remember what it tastes like, you know, than stick it on my wall. And then I was looking at this taxidermy, like baby cougar or something, and it looked like it was alive. It reminded me of Oliver, which kind of made me a little sad. I mean, I don't know. So, that article, I haven't like, they're going to ask me, why is everything on the same 3 blocks? I've barely gotten to see much outside. I got to see some stuff downtown, but I haven't really gotten a really comprehensive tour of Austin. And, yeah, so I blogged about, I found this sugar daddy website when I was looking. It was random. I was looking for yarn on Craigslist, and then this link popped up for sugar daddies, and I was like, I'm just going to look at this, because I always joke about getting a sugar daddy. And it was like, it's serious stuff. Like, you could request how much money you want, and they pump it right into your bank account. I was like, fuck, this is great. But then it was just gross. I was like, oh, I don't know if I could really... Oh, and then I'm like, oh, then I know people won't book me. They're gonna say it's counter to my politics, and then my mom is gonna just be so disgusted, and I'm gonna have to, like, go on drugs or something so I can, like, I can't believe I'm talking about this out loud. Anyway, change the subject. I don't know. Let's see. Like, so yeah, I guess that's just my, like, thing. If you're out there, please send me some knitting books. That would, like, totally make my day. And, you know, you can be my sugar daddy of knitting books. You're not going to get anything back but a scarf. And come to my show. I'm going to be speaking at UT Austin on Wednesday, which is going to be really cool. This city moves fast. It's like I just had dinner the first night I was here, and suddenly I had an appointment at the school to meet them to do a speaking engagement. And now I'm going to do this show, and then I go back home, and then I watch my friends get married, and then I go do this show in Michigan. Oh, it's so stressful. It's so stressful because I want the show to be perfect, and yet I have no idea what the show looks like, and I'm so close to, like, opening. And oh, God, I'm going to cry. I think there's nothing that could possibly make me go more nuts than do a show about people going nuts. Ay, ay, ay. God damn. Ah! I don't know. Oy. Well, I think that's all to talk about, I think. Yeah. That's it. I think I need to go back on the master cleanse because, yeah. And with that note, I think that's it. Thanks for listening.